Today, Canadian women take four continents history to home ice. Cynthia Phaneuf won a silver medal at this championship in '04. Joannie Rochette has ascended the podium the last 2 seasons. But today, they have a lot to contend with at four continents. The deepest field in history, including world champion Mao Asada of Japan, and the hottest skater on the planet in Korea's Yuna Kim. Back inside Pacific Coliseum for our exclusive coverage of the Four Continents Figure Skating Championships on CBC. By the way, it's go time for national champion Joannie Rochette. She will get a measure of her resolve in a very deep field. 5 of the top 6 figure skaters are here. Only Italy's Carolina Kostner is missing. So this is a big chance for the 5-time Canadian champion. Back in our position at Pacific Coliseum at the end of the rink, and we've got the catbird seat today to watch this women's competition. And back with Tracy Wilson and Kurt Browning. And in terms of the female competition here in Vancouver, it's world championship caliber.
Oh, it's the best of the best. Very, very exciting. You can feel the tension as the women are warming up behind us. You've got Mao Asada, who is the defending world champion. She's also coming off a win at the Grand Prix final. Then you have Yuna Kim from Korea, who has posted the highest scores all season. So it's really a showdown between those two rivals.
And really then, where does Joannie Rochette stack up in this field?
If they do their job, she's third. What her job is today is to make sure that she doesn't take herself out of the competition, and she's got some new goals for this short program that she needs to accomplish, and I think it's important for her to get that out and done. But what she needs to do is make no mistakes, and if they do make mistakes, then she'll slide right in.
One thing we do know, though, Tracy, about Joannie Rochette, she's a resilient competitor, is she not?
Yes, she is, but typically her weakness is in the short program, and if she does make a mistake there, she's been able to come back in the long. But against the best in the world, you can't have a weakness, so that's what we're looking for Joannie, as Kurt said, to get out there and go clean.
All right, Joannie Rochette trying to contend with home ice, and she's trying to put the entire package together. With more on that, here's Brenda Irving.
Well, as the three of you alluded to, she has struggled with the short program this season. At her last 2 competitions anyway, that was the Grand Prix final in December and a couple of weeks ago at the Canadians. Now, after Canadians, she went back with her coach, Mao Asada. They went back home and decided to swap 2 of the jumps in the short program, and she's hoping it will make the difference tonight.
Mentally, I think it's good to have a change when you're having some problems with a certain program, and all season it's been my weaker one, and you know the short program should be easier because you only have 2 triple jumps in it. So I mean it's great for me to have a chance to experiment with the changes we made here.
And you know, the last time she went head-to-head with Yuna Kim and Mao Asada was back in December at the Grand Prix final. And after the short program, she was 15 points behind them. So obviously, guys, she can't let that happen again here at Four Continents. Scott?
Thanks, Brenda. Here's the order of go in the ladies' short program. 15-year-old Caroline Zhang of the United States will lead it off. The Japanese are in the heart of the order. The final say will go to the 5-time Canadian champion, 23-year-old Joannie Rochette.
Representing the United States, Caroline Zhang.
Caroline Zhang of the United States is still only 15 years of age, but she has grown physically since last season, a full 3 inches. High hopes for the 2007 World Junior Champion.
Program choreographed by Lori Nickel. She's skating to La Bayadere.
Go ahead, Tracy.
One of a number of the women who will be trying triple triples in the short. Hers coming up here. Triple flip, triple toe.
Like Scott said, a lot of high hopes for this athlete. She's been sort of bothered with those downgrades, whether or not she completed the revolutions on the ice or in the air. Triple loop. A much cleaner jump for her, and this one, perfect.
She has a lovely presence on the ice, and she hits some beautiful lines, stunning flexibility, gorgeous spins. What she still needs to work on, though, is her strength and speed across the ice. It's noticeable the difference between Carolyn and the top skaters in the field, the power and the speed.
The positions in this spiral sequence are rather beautiful and perfect and exquisite. And all that's missing is exactly what you said, Tracy, just more power and more speed.
Her signature move, it's called the curl.
And some really special moments.
Crowd loves the pearl and appreciate Caroline Zhang, the 15-year-old American bronze medalist.
I have to list on my list of people they want me to have.
Welcome back. I remember watching last season's Skate America in Reading, Pennsylvania, and you can notice the difference in Caroline Zhang.
Here's a look at her opening combination. And watch the unorthodox free leg. Oh, she gets it up in the air, so she'll lose some the quality marks on that jump. And then the technical specialist will be watching the landing of her second jump to see, as Kurt said, to see if she completed the rotation in the air or on the ice.
And a difficult entry to this double axel, but speed is missing. And you can see that she just doesn't carry a lot of speed into that jump. Her spins, exquisite. Flexibility, as you said. So what she does well, she does very well. And I think that's one of the reasons why she has had success internationally.
And it's interesting with the technical flaw on that triple flip. And you'll see in the long program, her Lutz is similar in its difficulties on the takeoff. And those are issues at her young age that needs to be addressed right now, because really you can see this is a skater that has the capability to climb right to the top of the world. But with those technical deficiencies, it's going to hold her back unless she fixes them.
Born in Boston, trains in Artesia, California with her coach, Li Mingzhu. Caroline Zhang. And here come the first set of marks after her short program.
The short program score is 58.16.
And there is tremendous disappointment on the part of Caroline Zhang.
But those are her best scores internationally in the short program this year. Up quite a bit for her internationally.
58.16 for Zhang. So the smile replaces the early frown. Tonight at midnight local, more championship figure skating on CBC as our Four Continents Championship continues from Pacific Coliseum. And the roar of the crowd is for a Canadian, a former Canadian champion, Cynthia Phaneuf won in 2004 when she was only 15 years of age. And she has been facing a long road back to prominence. But in Saskatoon, she was ticking and got to the silver medal position. And could it be that Cynthia Phaneuf is on the right track?
Speed into and out of that double axel, and now building for her triple combination. Triple Lutz double toe. With an easier triple jump there. Earlier in the season, she was doing a triple flip. She's gone with an easier jump, but executing it beautifully, so hoping to pick up the marks in the quality.
It's pretty easy to turn a triple toe into a wobbly triple flip and get the same mark, so I think it's a good plan.
She's grown. 04 was a very big year for Cynthia Phaneuf. She was the national champion. She was the silver medalist at 4 continents. And I'm sensing she likes the feel of Olympic ice.
I felt that after she got halfway through her footwork, she started to taste something special happening, and you could really see it on her face.
Cynthia Phaneuf of Canada will return to 4 continents on CBC in just a moment. Annie Barabé and Cynthia Phaneuf are ecstatic about what's happened here in Vancouver in the short program.
Well, we've watched Cynthia compete over the last couple of years, trying to get back into competition shape, particularly with her jumps. And we'd see her on practice skating great, and then disappointment time and time again in competition. And you've just watched her work her way up this season. What I liked about this double axel is she had a lot of speed going into that jump and out. A lot of the women very, very cautious on that jump, not Cynthia.
Yeah, the easiest jump and they get cautious. What I didn't like about this is she rushed the takeoff. What I did is that she did not give up. She fought for that landing, not only landing it, but getting such quality about it. Now this was huge. Down, reach back, up. Perfect. and everything had a quality and a flair and just that extra little fleur de lis, shall we say, for her.
And she's got an Olympic gold medalist in her corner, David Peltier, on side, along with Annie Barabé.
So it's really interesting here. She didn't quite have the flexibility of some of the other skaters in the spiral sequence, not the speed of Alyssa Cisney in the spins, but she did have the jumps today, the consistency, and the overall package. Nothing not to like about that.
Perfectly said.
Is 60.9.
Whoa, are they happy with that? Technical elements, 34-7, 26-28 for the program, 60-98. And that vaults Cynthia Phaneuf into first place. Big mark.
Our next competitor, representing Japan, Fumie Suguri.
At 28 years of age, she is the 5-time Japanese national champion, and that takes some doing. But Fumie Suguri won last in 2006.
She is the elder statesman in this competition. In fact, she competed at the inaugural Four Continents event back in 1999. Opening here with her triple combination, triple lutz, double toe.
Triple flip and a big one for her. And I think at that first Four Continents competition, as she goes into her double axel, I don't think her jumps were this high. I don't think she was this fit looking.
She's always been known as being a beautiful artistic performer. And Kurt, as you said, her jumps have come a long way. In the last year or two, that's really where she's spent her efforts, and it's paying off.
Spectacular field for this Four Continents Championships, really. The skaters not wanting to miss this chance to test the Olympic ice. And we're a year out from the games in Vancouver. By the way, she's won Four Continents 3 times in her career.
Difficulty at the end there on the spin, but otherwise she didn't put a foot wrong through that program.
The spiral sequence was a little bit slow if you want to get picky, but gosh, it's, you know, and you said it earlier, Japan's such a tough country to compete in, and she did not go quietly into the night. She says, I'm going to stick around, and she's earning that spot.
Just missed the podium at the last Olympics in Torino, and Fumie Suguri wants another chance on this very ice. The world champion is waiting in the wings. Mao. 2006 World Championships silver medalist Fumie Suguri of Japan.
I look at her coach there, Nikolai Morozov, and I think he's really worked with her to bring out her more athletic and aggressive style. She was always so soft and delicate and gentle. And now we're seeing, and as you said, Kurt, she is not just hanging around taking a spot. She's really having to fight with these great Japanese skaters to earn spots too, 4 continents and world championships.
Yep. And what you just saw was her combination. On paper, it was triple Lutz. It looked to me like she might have flipped over on the inside edge on the takeoff, and so the judges with their super slow-mo camera will check that out for us and let us know. So important that you stick to the game plan and do what you say you're going to do. The judges, well, they'll just make you pay for it.
Here's a look at the final spin, and you can see how she's traveling across the ice. And she's really just trying to hang on to get all of the necessary rotations in the spin.
Hi, Chica, I love you.
Fumie Suguri likely will challenge the lead of Canadian Cynthia Phaneuf here. Fumie last won the 4 Continents Championship in 2005. As we mentioned, she was the first winner and a 3-time winner of this event.
The scores, please, for Fumie Suguri from Japan. The short program score is 60.18, a season's best.
Season's best for Fumie Suguri, 61.8, leaves her behind Cynthia Phaneuf of Canada. Wow.
Our next competitor, representing Japan, Mao Asada.
Of all of the skaters in the field, she brings the most tangible credentials to the table and perhaps faces the greatest expectations. 18-year-old Mao Asada of Japan. She is the world champion and perhaps has inside track status as the Olympic favorite in 2010.
Well, she sure changed the face of female figure skating this year when she landed 2 triple axels in 1 free skate program. And she needed both of them to defeat Yuna Kim in that competition. World champion.
Planning to open here with a triple-triple combination, triple flip, triple loop. Looked iffy on the second jump. Now footwork into her triple Lutz. And that was turned to a double.
Great change of edge, change of direction. Looking like it was easy, and it's not.
And Kurt, I think that's true of everything she does. She makes it look very, very easy. Watch her knees. She gets a wonderful rhythm. And stepping now into a double axel, very difficult entry and exit on that jump as she stays on one foot and weaves it into the choreography of the program.
World champion Mao Asada won at NHK Tokyo and then defeated her closest rival, Yuna Kim, in her rival's own backyard in Korea at the Grand Prix final. But has she done enough here to be the best in the short program? We are back at the Four Continents Figure Skating Championships in Vancouver, and you're looking at Mao Asada, the world champion.
And that's her coach, Cynthia Phaneuf, and she's the assistant to Tatiana Tarasova, coaching duo from Russia. Here's a look at Mao's triple lutz, triple flip, triple loop, and she has not been given credit for that section triple all year, so we'll wait to see what the technical specialist thinks of that jump. And here's the triple Kurt turn to a double.
And I think what happened is that when lately she's been working so hard, well, even world champions have things to work on. She's been trying to get that triple lutz definitely on the outside edge, so the judges have no reason to deduct her, and that's a tough thing to change. And I think that trying to make that change is what was on her mind, throwing off her timing. Seeing her do a double in competition is very rare, but I think that's why.
And it's interesting, we're seeing a lot of this in the ladies competition, especially tonight, the problems on the takeoff of the lutz or the flip. And that's a technical thing that really wasn't hit hard in the past. It was kind of arbitrary as to whether or not the judges would knock those jumps down. And now they are penalizing them, and they do use replay so that the technical specialist can look, and if that jump is taken off on the wrong edge, then they have to put it in the minus GOEs.
Great of execution. And do you know what happens? I think if you were getting away with it 3, 4, 5 years ago, you know, and now you're not, it's like I said, it's like a golf swing or something. It's really hard to change.
As always, the world champion. All of the Japanese skaters are followed by a large contingent of their fans wherever they go. They're here in full force in Vancouver. And here are the results for Mao Asada.
She does get downgraded on the second triple in the combination, and then the double lutz is not as required. It has to be a triple. So she loses 9 points on the jumps.
57.86. That leaves her in fourth spot. A big surprise for the world champion.
That's the short program. Doesn't matter what your name is. You have to do it.
Our next competitor, representing the Republic of Korea, Yuna Kim.
And a rare chance now to see the hottest rivals in women's figure skating back to back. 18-year-old Yuna Kim of Seoul, South Korea, coached in Toronto by the Olympic silver medalist Brian Orser.
And Yuna was on the ice hearing the marks of Mao, and I'm sure in her preparation she was expecting Mao to be the leader, and has to be surprised that her rival is sitting in fourth.
Judging by the focus on her face, I think that's the last thing on her mind. Right now she's worried about her first jump pass, the combination. Another triple.
Footwork into the triple lutz.
Orser's banging the boards over there with every jump.
Well, he can relax now because she's done the jumps. Kim has made it healthy to the Four Continents competition. Injury-free, she is impressive.
And she is on fire. The hottest thing on ice this year in women's figure skating. Her personal best is 71.95 in the short program. This could raise the bar.
All sorts of things we could look at right now. I'm thinking about the spiral sequence and how she had a little bit of trouble in the first spiral sequence, and then somehow when all the other girls are losing speed, her spiral sequence gains speed, and it's just incredible the quality above and beyond the jumps.
Yuna Kim of Korea. Coach and skater Brian Orser and Yuna Kim at Pacific Coliseum in Vancouver, and receiving a boatload of gifts from her many admirers.
Brian will be receiving some medical aid for his hand after banging on his boards. He didn't stop after the jumps were done. He kept hitting, but it must have worked. Clean flow, clean landing. But little things like that, the choreography, the attention to detail within her choreography, the way she holds her head, the focus of her eyes and her face, everything focused towards one look in the program, really accentuating those great jumps and spins that we've been looking at. Delayed.
Choreography by David Wilson. And here's the spiral that you were talking about. First of all, she had so much speed, she almost went into the boards.
Yeah, just
and there you can see, hang on, hang on.
But where other girls will take a few crossovers and maybe one mohawk to get some speed, and nothing seems to happen, she just does a little push, one crossover, and bam, into the next one with even more speed.
We saw her at the Grand Prix final where she competed at home in Korea. She is a superstar in that country, followed by paparazzi. She gets police escorts to and from the rink. And you could see she carried the weight of the world in that competition. Here, she skated free.
I'm surprised they haven't crawled on the totem pole to get closer to her.
And you know who's only next to her popularity in Korea is the guy sitting beside her, Brian Orser. Is a big star in that country. Whoa!
Oh my goodness! That is unbelievable!
Way up over her personal best, 72.24. Yuna Kim rockets.
That is the best short program score ever. Oh my goodness.
Representing Canada, Joannie Rochette.
5 times the Canadian national champion. The key for 23-year-old Joannie Rochette is to prove to herself that she can get out of the blocks and get into the race.
Yeah, well, she's in it now. What an interesting situation. And I talked at the beginning of the show about if one of the 2 top guns makes a mistake, and she doesn't, she could slip in there. And I don't know how much she knows about what has happened ahead of her, but she's had a long, long wait to wait for this chance to skate. Oh, what's going through her head? I want to know.
Skating to Summertime, choreographed by Shaylin Bourne. And she will open here with her high-flying double axel.
Perfect.
Planned triple here. Lutz for the first jump. Triple double.
She was not tight in the air at all. A great triple flip, maybe a slight 2-foot, but she was loose in the air. That was a fight and a mental battle that she won.
How do you measure success? Well, maybe by how you fight to stay in it. And Joannie Rochette has given herself a chance.
We talked about Joannie building momentum over the last few years. We've talked about her building confidence, and at the Grand Prix final, it slipped a bit, but at Nationals, she was there, and in a really difficult situation, skating last in the pre-Olympic ice surface in Canada, knowing there was an opening. And you know what, I'm very proud of her, because a couple of those, the Lutz didn't go up, great. The flip was loose in the air, and both of them she came through at the end. And I think that alone, when she looks at the tape, will give her so much confidence.
Because let's face it, it's easy to skate when you feel great. It's when you're feeling a little bit off and you have to fight for it, and that's the difference. That's the difference between the champions and those who aren't.
Let it slip away. Awesome.
The triumvirate there, Joannie Rochette, Manon Perron, Shaylin Bourne, and they're pretty happy with what's gone on here at Pacific Coliseum. Now, Yuna Kim of Korea has been absolutely spectacular.
Now watch this triple Let's take off. I think she rushes it. Just rushes it, but is able to hold on and execute a great combination.
And it's up to her. She could do a triple-triple or a triple-double. She didn't need the triple-triple tonight, so that was fine. There's the flip. And it's interesting, Kurt, because when she was skating from the distance, she was at the far end. It did look like a 2-foot landing, but not there. She'll get full marks for that triple flip. And I loved the energy she put into the choreography between the elements, and particularly in this footwork sequence. Here's a look down at the skates, and you can see the edges, the curves she's making on the ice. Technical specialist looking to make sure that the turns are difficult turns and not simple 3 turns. Wonderful little lyrical moment there.
And what's gone is any tension or apprehension within the movements. And I think that is what makes a skater look new and fresh. And you sit there and you enjoy the skating and you don't worry for them. And that's when you really start to feel the juices flow and you really enjoy them.
The scores, please.
And now the results. And they're very hopeful, to be sure.
The short program score is 66.90.
66.90. The best this season for Joannie Rochette will put her right into second place behind Yuna Kim of Korea, who has stolen the show, but Joannie Rochette grabs a part of it at least.
Please join us at 11 tomorrow morning for the arena event.
Right now, here's Brenda Irving. Brenda, go ahead.
Well, Joannie, you made a couple of key changes to that short program. Obviously, they paid off for you tonight.
Yes, I feel much more comfortable about the jump layout. Of course, we just did that over a week. It needs some touch-up. Shilin was here to see what we can do to improve the program and make it look more polished for Worlds, but I'm so relieved that I could do this link tonight.
Well, you know, as you head to the free skate, you know that of all the contenders for possibly a world title, you're the only one that's had a clean skate all season. So what does that do to your confidence as you head to that portion of the competition?
It's good to know I can do it, but also every competition you start back from scratch, and I cannot take that for granted. But I know that I'm trained and I have confidence in my own program. I love this program, so I can't wait to perform it here on Friday.
Well, enjoy this moment tonight and good luck in the free skate.
Thank you very much.
Scott?
The bottom line in the standings after the short program, and as Kurt Browning might say, it's a very interesting, might we say astounding leaderboard. Yuna Kim of South Korea, world record 72.24. Joannie Rochette and Cynthia Phaneuf, the Canadians, are 2 and 3. Mao Asada, the world champion, is down in 6th spot. How many superlatives can we offer about not only the field, but about the performance of Yuna Kim?
Well, I think her score says it all. The best ever for a short program. She didn't put a foot wrong. She skated with all kinds of energy, intensity, gorgeous jumps. She jumps like a man. That triple was spectacular.
With better flow.
And it's interesting when you look at the scores. There were 6 skaters in this competition that surpassed the mark set at the European Championships for the high score in the short program. So truly the very best in the world in this competition. 2 Canadians sitting in podium position.
Yeah, and I think we should be so proud of our 2 girls. So, you know, Cynthia Phaneuf coming from a few years ago, basically obscurity, to putting herself into, all of a sudden now we're talking about her in the international level, and certainly Joannie, she kind of really stepped on the ice in a difficult situation, skating last, and all sorts of reasons not to do well. The triple S didn't take off right, the triple flip wasn't tight in the air, and she nailed it. I'm really proud of her.
Yeah, and still at the center of the storm here at Pacific Coliseum, South Korea's Yuna Kim, absolutely spectacular, and she's standing by with Brenda Irving.
Well, Yuna Kim makes history in women's figure skating by recording the highest ever short program score. Yuna, you've done so much in your short career already, but what does this mean to achieve this milestone?
Well, when I was preparing for this 4 continents, I try to be healthy because last 2 years, in February, I had been having injuries, so I couldn't be perfect for the last 2 competitions in the season. But here, I have the best condition during the season, and I beat my highest score in the short program, so I'm pretty happy.
Does it make it extra special because this performance was on Olympic ice?
Well, here's Vancouver, and I'll be here next year, so I want it to have very good feeling in here, because for Olympics, so I'm very great.
Congratulations and best of luck in the free skate.
Thank you.
Scott?
Thanks, Brenda. There's Yuna Kim, and I don't think there's any doubt now that she is the front runner in terms of the World Championship. She's twice been the bronze medalist.
She has, and as she alluded to it in the interview, it's been because she's been hampered by injuries. And so this is a Yuna Kim skating injury-free at 4 continents, and then she's going to have to kind of keep that role going into the World Championships.
Okay, now I'm interested in what Mao Asada is going to do, because I think what she is doing, her game plan isn't working. The triple axel is this weapon that she does have, but she's, you know, I don't think she's out of the mix. I think we really have to keep her eye on Mao. She's going to create some tension, and we're going to be better for it. It's going to be a lot of fun.
And an interesting sidebar story to watch was the way that Yuna Kim's coach, Brian Orser, our Canadian friend, was along for the ride every step of the way. All right, we're back at midnight local tonight. We'll have the pairs free program, and you'll get a chance to watch Jessica Dubé and Bryce Davison of Canada, who are second after the short program, the Canadian national champions. And they were very hot here on Pacific Coliseum ice. They stand second to Pang and Tong of China, the former world champions. In the dance, Cronin Poirier of Canada, Davis and White of the United States, but so far the best have been this duo. That's Tessa Virtue and Scott Moyer. Cynthia Phaneuf was great, so was Joannie Rochette. The night belonged to Yuna Kim of Korea. See you next time from Vancouver.